Doobus Goobus is one of my favourite YouTubers to watch, and his persona as the physical embodiment of the nerd emoji, I am going to power scale Doobus Goobus along with all the other characters shown on his channel. I initially thought this would be fairly simple, but yeah, this was deceptively complex and very much detailed, for many reasons I'll get into in the latter half of the video. So, the purpose of this video will be to bring up all the feats and abilities shown within the Doobus Goobus YouTube channel, so if you wanted to say put Goobus, Gilgamesh, or Wabbas Dwabbas in a fight with your favourite character, you would know how the fight would go down. If you're going to enjoy this video, then make sure to like, subscribe. Honestly, if it wasn't for the Dragon Ball Z abridged video I made earlier this year, this would by far be the most detailed and hardest video to make on the channel, so this would be really appreciated if you show support. And let's get on with power scaling Doobus Goobus. The first part of this video is going to be sort of boring by comparison to the rest of it, as I'm just going to go over the abilities of the minor or one-off characters. Firstly, Pararapa has shown a strange level of self-sustenance and immortality, being able to survive for a bit after being cut in two. This robot self-destructs, and the Mario Brothers show a great level of pain resistance due to being able to wave off their arms falling off like it's nothing. Pun intended. Garfield, the Grim Reaper, can also cause people to instantly die on command, which he actually uses on Goobus himself, by the way. Shadow the Hedgehog possesses a syringe of space aids on hand, which he can use to inject into people, so if he was in a fight and wanted to, you know, inject them with space aids, he can, and he also is able to ride a horse as well. Goofy shows being able to shapeshift into a movie cover. The random drummer can bring people back to life as skeleton zombies, and this person can survive despite having two wolves inside of them. The tiny president has a small in size. Would you believe that? Elvis possibly has time travel, because that's really the only way I can really describe it. Bender, and the dude I don't know, has shape-shifting, and Vegeta can come back from being dead himself. Frieza can also cause people to explode. The Ace Attorney Judge shows being able to teleport others into a vat of acid and also being able to teleport himself. The creator of Mortal Kombat shows being able to erase his characters from existence. This Lego Man has resistance to pain and also has some level of self-sustenance too. Eggman has resistance to a realm where the laws of physics just don't exist or die, basically. And Sonic has this too, by the way. Batman has teleportation and healing via soup. Jack Horner has inhuman indigestion, or inhuman digestion, I suppose, and so does this bee as well. Mr. Beast has elasticity. The Lord can erase people from existence, manipulate technology, and create things at will. Leon has Toon Force and body control. Boyfriend and girlfriend have non-physical interaction, being able to beat up spirits. Sonic has elasticity and dimensional storage and hammer space, along with resistance to physical, or rather resistance to physics manipulation, as I said earlier. Wabbas Dwabbas has biological manipulation, being able to manipulate the facial structure of his own face, and being able to survive with an elephant inside of him. Gilgamesh has duplication. Dale has Toon Force, body control and elasticity, and the vast majority of his characters do, to be honest. Brett also has Toon Force and minor body control. The Ant-Woman has elasticity and weapons mastery. Lythero may have fate manipulation, depending on how you interpret the statement here. The Fix-It Cat Building has healing, and both the Lord of the Rings director and Gollum will possibly both have resistance to fire, and Gollum can also eat people. Alright, let's go on to the good stuff. The weakest feat of attack potency within the Doobus Goobus verse comes from the species of Growthers, which can reportedly rip out the chest easily, replacing them as street tier. If you don't know what street tier means, if you're just like a casual viewer, it's basically the name given to characters that are stronger than being a peak human, but not strong enough to completely destroy a wall within one go. Many characters also display being able to break the fourth wall, such as Goobus, Brett, Sophie, Phoenix Fight, Maya Fey, the sexist and not sexist frogs, Kermit, Mr. Funny, Rouge the Bat, Gilgamesh, Wabbas Dwabbas, Sonic, Tails, Boyfriend, Winnie the Girlfriend, Winnie the Pooh, the Random Nerd, and Harley Quinn. And also the character in the bottom right. Let's go on to the more fleshed out characters first, because I actually have much more to talk about. Firstly, the T-Rex with arms is of course a T-Rex. A T-Rex was estimated capable of being able to output 87,000 joules while running, which is enough to completely demolish walls and deal significant damage to small buildings, just by running. With a bite estimated to be equal to 431,000 psi. T-Rexes are also estimated to have a top speed of almost 15 miles per hour, which isn't that fast, for being honest. Next, we have Spampton having access to nuclear weaponry. This can range between the weakest nuke being able to output the power of 10 tons of TNT, and the strongest nuke ever made being able to output the equivalent of 50 megatons of TNT. Or 100 megatons of TNT if you want to include the one that didn't go off. This ranges between the completely evaporating large buildings to entire cities and mountains. Yeah, Spamton might not be a joke here whatsoever. Moving on to the case of Maya Fey, it is actually quite hard to scale Maya here due to the nature of the feats and the fact that we don't know which ones actually happened or not. If we assume that Phoenix was right in what Maya has done, Maya has survived flying up into space and the fall back down. This would firstly give her self-sustenance and resistance to cosmic temperatures and radiations, with durability upwards of 92 million joules, which is enough to destroy a small building, meaning that Maya might just be okay if a building were just to collapse on top of her. Now then, in court, she's also accused of nuking the country of Turkey, with beyond superhuman level speed due to being able to do it within a blink of an eye. It's stated that everybody died from it. Now, the greatest nuke in the world was nowhere near powerful enough to blow up a whole country, meaning that Maya might have access to nukes which are even greater than power to the ones in the real world, with power ranging between 1 to 7 teratons of TNT. But of course, you could argue that simply everyone died from the nuclear fallout rather than the physical explosion itself, but it's down to interpretation. It doesn't really matter either way because it may have not actually happened. There are some other characters who are prominent in the series, but don't have much, such as the nerd who can survive without a liver, and also has some kind of immortality, being able to respawn after being killed by Garfield. Winnie the Pooh has empathic manipulation, being able to get rid of depression, and possible size manipulation and self-sustenance, depending on if you take this, as literal. And Harley Quinn also has resistance to acid, has regeneration, and possible has resistance to molten lava. Moving on to something really impressive, the Dragon Choir has the power to literally set the world on fire by singing. Now, this doesn't inherently mean the Dragon Choir can destroy planets, but it would mean that they would have a planetary range as to what their fire could do. There's then also the video that's extremely important to the scaling of this channel. You see, Frieza's stated capable of blowing up the planet, and then says he'll go destroy Earth, which would require power equal to 62.48 zetatons of TNT. And Goku also explains he can shoot lasers. If you imply that Frieza and Goku are comparable to each other and can dodge each other's attacks, you can get these two to be able to destroy planets and move at the speeds relative to the speed of light, which is actually backed up when you consider the fact that Goku considers Frieza's movements as fast despite being able to fire lasers. Goku then goes on to fight Superman and gets one shot along with Godzilla, and then Goobus and everyone across the entire world shows up and takes a total of 51 punches from Superman. If you assume that this makes Goobus 51 times more durable than Goku, then this would take his durability up to 3.186 yotatons of TNT, or being classed as large planet level, but that is just speculation after all. Going back to the feat at hand, then Goobus takes many punches from Superman as well as the entire world's population. Now, there are two ways to go about this. You can either imply that the world's mass combined into its avatar can move as fast as a person can, which can range its kinetic energy of this character between 447 tons of TNT to 5.12 kilotons of TNT, which ranges between being able to destroy multiple city blocks and small towns just by moving. If you assume that it's literally the entire mass of the Earth, along with all the people on it moving at the speed of a human, then this character would be able to destroy, or be able to output the power equal to 953 tons of TNT to 10.92 kilotons of TNT, once again ranging between being able to destroy multiple city blocks and towns. Now, if you're doing a bit of calc stacking here, which is a bit, of a social faux pas here, but we'll do it anyways, and say that this character can move as fast as the lasers that Goku can destroy, and the kinetic energy can reach between 3.08 exatons of TNT to 6.57 exatons of TNT, both being enough to destroy multiple continents just by moving. It's important seeing that this should probably scale to Goobus himself, but there is a massive range here. The safest scaling you can give to Goobus' durability is being able to tank attacks that could destroy multiple city blocks, but of course can be scaled higher. This isn't all for Goobus though. Goobus does have a lot to go over due to kind of being the main character of his channel. In the How to Be Funny video, he's dealt with having to be attacked by tigers, elephants, tigers taped to elephants, Cambodians the wizard, and penguins with guns. Tigers can run up to 40 miles per hour, and elephants can move up to 227 miles per hour. Tigers are able to destroy entire skulls with their bite, which replaces tigers in being able to output 34,960 joules, which is enough to completely destroy walls, and rampaging elephants could destroy small houses. If you imply that Goobus could dodge the bullets fired from the penguin with the guns, the average speed would be greater than 1,800 miles per hour. Now, the complicated bit again. Cambodius the Wizard. There are two ways we can calculate his power. One, that he has literally the power of a country, and two is that he has the kinetic energy of the country. The power required to destroy a moderately sized country would be equal to 7 teratons of TNT, but to find the KE, or the kinetic energy, we'd have to do the same thing we did with the planet guy earlier. Assuming that Cambodius the Wizard can move as fast as a normal person, his kinetic energy would range between 506 tons of TNT to 5.796 kilotons of TNT, which ranges between being able to destroy multiple city blocks and small towns. There is one way you can scale Goobus higher, however, I will get onto that later on because, you know, it's a clusterfuck of a paragraph. I would say that it is more likely that Cambodius is actually able to output the power of a country rather than the kinetic energy, because I don't think Cambodius is destroying multiple cities, or rather multiple city blocks into small towns just by moving, so he likely just has the power to output the power of a country rather instead. Goobus shows being able to break the fourth wall, and in the I Got a Golden Brick video is shown having elasticity and body control. He also possibly has large size, self-sustenance, and resistance to cosmic temperatures and radiations, as shown in the Pooh's The King of the World video. He also has the time stop via his fourth wall manipulation, being able to literally stop the animation at will. He can also live without a liver, has self-resurrection, being able to come back from the dead, Toon Force, inhuman digestion, and has a massive resistance to pain, being able to take 1 million arrows hitting him at once, people eating him, being broken in two, and being able to be set on fire, which also gives him resistance to fire manipulation. He also shows being a master manipulator and has stealth mastery, and possibly has resistance to magic if you imply he can take magic attacks from Cambodius the Wizard. He also shows being able to regenerate, has teleportation and air manipulation via the warp whistle. He also has summoning with a large metal thing. He has poison manipulation and inorganic physiology, being made up of a toxic goo which is deadly poisonous to consume, and also possibly has resistance to soul attacks due to being stated to be soulless. He also has the ability to duplicate and shapeshift himself. He has resistance to blood manipulation. He has biological manipulation, being able to give other people thumbs and being able to manipulate his own anatomy. He also might have like minor resistance to brain attacks. Maybe. He also is skilled in horsemanship and has immortality, being able to come back from the dead. Now, why is this video taking so long to make? Well, Goobus is no stranger to other characters showing up in his videos from other series. Now, normally I would bring up what would happen if you scale Goobus to each of these characters, but do you want to know how many series he has used? Not 10, not 20, but 44! I know the scaling of a few of these series, but at least 3/4 of the series I've got absolutely no idea, so I'm likely missing something here, but I did my best. Some of the most overpowered verses here involve Marvel vs. Capcom 3, with Ultron Sigma being able to fuse entire universes, Mario characters involving Bowser being able or threatening to destroy the Dream Pot, which contains an infinite amount of dreams which are all infinitely big, which would make Bowser multiversal. You can scale him even higher, but watch my Mario vs. Sonic video please. I can't be bothered going through all that again. There's then also Sonic the Hedgehog, who has Solaris, who can destroy all things in the past, present, and future within the Sonic multiverse. There's then Futurama, with Bender being able to create multiple galaxies, SpongeBob being able to unravel the entire universe with a piece of string, Kirby being stated to have infinite power. Side note, I know that Kirby scaling is much more complex and nuanced than that, and he's likely far stronger than that, but it's one of the series I don't know how to scale, but I figured I'd bring it up anyways because he's kind of overpowered. There's then also Dragon Ball characters such as Goku, who can destroy the macrocosm, which involves multiple universe-sized realms and possibly realms that transcend each other. You then have DC characters such as Superman being able to fight a dude that grew so big he threatened all of existence, and Flash, who is able to run so fast he goes back in time, giving him immeasurable speed. There's then also Marvel characters who have similar feats too. There's then also Pokemon, who have Pokemon such as Giratina, who is literally the distortion world, a realm beyond the concepts of time and space, which replaces them between multiversal and outerversal. If you are a casual viewer and do not know what the term outerversal means, basically, it is the highest form of power a character could have that isn't being boundless or being the writer. Which, by the way, Goobus might actually scale to being boundless in power. As shown in many videos, the creator of Marvel, Mortal Kombat, and Star Wars are all canon, and if you assume that Goobus scales to them or above them, he would literally scale above the writers himself, giving him boundless power. This is further backed up when he references how he can create the animations at hand, and also as shown being the animator and writer of the Sonic skits. So, hey, you could place Goobus at being on par with the writer, if not greater, which is a bit batshit crazy. So to recap, on a low end, Goobus can destroy multiple city blocks to town level, or being able to destroy towns rather, that didn't make sense grammatically. Which should make him durable enough to take attacks easily from the likes of the lower tier demons than Demon Slayer, and all of the live action versions of Batman. You can also scale him up to country level as well, making him far stronger than the likes of Gon, Tanjiro, Itadori, and all of Deltarune. You can scale him up to planet level, which have him soloing the likes of My Hero Academia, and should be on par with a lot of Jedi, albeit weaker depending on interpretation. Now, if you scaled to Outerversal or Boundless, it's either beating up every single fictional character or tying with them outright. This doesn't even bring up the fact that he might actually scale to Jesus Christ, but I am not comfortable with using religious figures in this sort of video, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe. Make sure to check out the other videos I have where I Powerscale other memes or other internet characters, and I'll see you all next time. My throat is fucking killing me, goddamn.